eBay's making it to where you have to pay into promoted listings at a higher rate, closer to the recommended amount, or you're not going to get much traffic at all. I'm telling you. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Just want to say what's up to all my hustlers out there. For those of you who might be new to the channel, my name is Eddie, and this is Hustle and Grow, where we talk about all things business and growth, regardless of what it is. I want to say reselling because I talk about that mostly, but that's not going to be all that I speak about. So I'm just doing some shipping. I got a little bored, felt like I needed some company, and there was just some things that I was kind of mulling over that I thought I would share. All right. First thing, and this, you can call this a conspiracy theory if you want, but I really think that I really think I'm on to something with this, man. You know, you listen to the groups lately, right? And everybody's talking about slow sales, how they're not getting a lot of traffic and everything like that, right? I went back and I looked at eBay's report for this year, as far as like, and I'm gonna make a video on that. Actually, I thought that I wrote that down somewhere because I wanted to actually make a whole video on that. But because if you go back and you look, right, you can't really take into consideration 2020, 2021, right? Those years of like the initial lockdown and everything like that, when sales was just kind of crazy. I looked at some of 2019's, even 2018's numbers compared to what they put out for, you know, this last year. And a lot of the numbers was kind of similar. So I feel like it's kind of skewed when you say, okay, eBay compared to last year or the year before is down. Well, yeah, it's probably going to be down, right? Because things are different. So you got to kind of take that into consideration, and I think that some people are not taking that into consideration, so it kind of skews and it kind of gives you the wrong perspective on what's going on eBay. However, some of the numbers still were down over 2019, 2018. So you got that. All right, so we're not going to take into account all of the things going on with the economy and everything like that, because the fact of the matter is I'm still doing pretty good on sites like Walmart and Amazon. So, you know, I really don't see the effect of that as much on those platforms when it comes to sales as eBay, right? Here's something that I thought about, right? Marketplace, you used to be able to list stuff, and honestly, you would get a pretty good amount of traffic to your listings on Marketplace, right? You would get a pretty good amount of traffic, and then finally they started making it to where you could buy traffic to your listings, right? You could buy traffic to your listings. And me personally, I tried it a few times. I bought traffic to my listings, and I did that whole thing. And at first, it started working, but then after a while, like, it was items that I knew sold, right? That they would sell. I still wasn't getting those sales on them, right? And what they wanted you to do was kind of basically pay more. And so what they did, as far as a lot of sellers concerned, you know, if you watch videos of sellers that sold on Marketplace or that used to have success, or you just listen to people in general, is that they feel like Marketplace basically made it to where you really don't get much traffic unless you buy it. And especially for items that's shipped, right? Maybe not so much local, but especially for items that are shipped, right? And there's something to that. And so what it made me think about today, right, is eBay. Okay? And now what about this, guys? Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you think there's something to this. So eBay implements promoted listings, right? Promoted listing standard. And then, you know, you can buy advertising and all of that. Okay. So eBay implements all of this, right? And, you know, of course, they got to when they initially do it, they got to test it out, get their data in and everything like that, of course, right? You want to get the data in and see how everything does. And then after they test everything and get in all the data, what do? Well, first they increase the promoted listing, right? They increase it from 1% to 2%. And basically make it to where unless you got very specific type of items, you have to use promoted listings or you really won't get any traffic to your listing, right? For real, you really won't. Because, you know, everybody else pretty much is using it. Not everybody, but like a lot of sellers are using it. And they're using it at some pretty high rates if you go by eBay's recommended or whatever. So they implement promoted listings. Start off at 1% minimum. Then they up it another 1% for no other reason than as a money grab. Because what is the reason to up it to 2% to make that the minimum? For real. What is the reason, right? Just kind of getting greedy there. But if you think about it, ever since then, right? What's happening? Like, yeah, people are still getting traffic, but there's been just a lot of complaints about traffic slowing down. However, traffic to eBay in general really hasn't taken that much of a hit. eBay, I mean, if you look at the numbers don't lie. Traffic to eBay in general is not that bad. They still get a lot of traffic, and depending on your category, you're still going to get a lot of traffic to your listings, depending on what you're selling and stuff, right? But anyway, so it made me think today because I'm just looking at some videos. I was looking at my boring reseller life videos, and you know he always be going into the traffic thing and what he think eBay's up to, and some of it I kind of agree with, and some of it I really don't. But either way, he does be making some good points, right? And that man been selling on eBay for a long time, so you know I think he got a feel for what's going on eBay and how things are compared to how it used to be. But listening to him, listening to a bunch of other resellers, taking into consideration what Marketplace is doing and what a lot of people feel that Marketplace is doing, because now it's like unless you pay for traffic, you really don't get, and even when you do pay for it, it just, you know, if you ain't paying a good amount, you really ain't getting no eyeballs on your stuff. They say you are, but it still won't sell. I got things that been up for I don't know how long. They used to sell just like that, and now I ain't buying no traffic, and now it's like they ain't getting no views on it, right? Same thing with the Facebook shops, you know? They used to send a lot of traffic to Facebook shops. Now unless you pay for that traffic, you really ain't getting no traffic to your shop. That's why I kind of stopped doing the shop. So eBay, I feel what came into my thought process is they're doing something similar to Marketplace. I think, man, I think eBay is making it to where not only do you have to use promoted listings, right, but you have to buy it at a higher rate. So yeah, you'll get some traffic. You're gonna get the trickle in traffic, right? Now we ain't even gonna take into consideration the people that's buying these ads that's showing up on the kind of like the middle of the right hand side of your screen, basically right under your store name and stuff. Yeah, and if you don't know about that, go check it out, right? People basically buying traffic off of your listings. They hijacking your listing now. So eBay making it legal for them to hijack your listing, right? So if you ain't buying that type of promotion, eBay is gonna make it to where you have to buy in to the promoted listings, and not just at the minimum rate either, in order to get the traffic. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, this is what they're doing. When you think about it, and a lot of videos have talked, or not a lot of videos, but a lot of channels have spoken about this. You know, the eBay money grabs, right? John from Flipping Ain't Easy, he talks about it all the time. eBay money grabs, right? And he's right. He's right, man. eBay, there's a lot of tools that can help sellers, right? There is a lot of tools that can help sellers. But when eBay implements these things, it's not really to help us. It's to help their revenue. And I get it. It's a business. They want to increase revenue. But instead of investing in things that's going to bring more people to the platform, they're investing in things that's going to get more money out to people selling on the platform. And it's now, and now you're thinking about all the people talking about, man, I ain't getting no traffic. My traffic numbers are down this much. My traffic numbers are down that much. I'm curious to know what most of those people use for promoted listings. If they use it at all, and if they do, what the rate is, you know? Because I really feel like eBay's making it to where, one, you have to use promoted listings if you plan on getting any amount of good traffic, and two, you're gonna have to do more than the minimum. And I feel like, I guarantee you, man, the farther along we go, I wouldn't be surprised if eBay raised that minimum rate. They might not do it this year, but give it another year or so, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it 2.5%, 3% is the minimum amount that you can do. And basically, it's going to be like selling advertising. And unless you buy advertising, it's going to be hard for you to get traffic. It's going to be hard for you to get traffic, and the ones that's going to get the traffic is the ones that's paying for the advertising. I mean, just think about it. I want to know what y'all think, man. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. eBay is really making it to where if you're not paying a good amount on promoted listings, your listings aren't going to get traffic. So if you ain't got something really specific, right, that people is looking for, really unique, because not all items need to have promoted listing if it's unique. But like in these categories where it's saturated, clothing, health and beauty, electronics, things like that, right? The majority of categories on eBay. If you're not, if you're not using promoted listings, period, you're going to have a very difficult time getting traffic to your listings. Yeah, you can go on price, you know, that might work. Or if you have a really desirable item. But if you got a pretty decent sized store, like, you know, a lot of your items going to just be kind of running the mill type items, right? The bigger you get, you kind of like gotta branch out to run. You can't, everything ain't gonna be home runs, right? And so unless you start paying more into that promoted listings, the less and less traffic you're going to get. I'm telling you, man. And I would do an experiment, but at this point, I don't even really care, because I'm just feeling like it ain't even worth it, because I don't have to do that on Amazon and Walmart. I don't have to put in, not only do I not have to put in all that time and effort to create listings and stuff like that, but then I don't have to pay for like promoted listings. And I don't have to do all this extra stuff to maybe get this traffic. You know, the traffic is based on the listing itself and the performance of that listing and your price. If the price is competitive, you'll win the buy box on those two platforms. Period, point blank. You gotta, the item itself is desirable, the price is competitive. Amazon or Walmart, you're gonna rotate in the buy box. That's it. No promoted listings, no nothing. Only time you really gotta pay for something like that is if you got your own product and you're trying to promote it. Not on eBay though. So I'm telling you, man, eBay is making it to where you're going to have to not only have promoted listings on, but you're going to have it above that minimum rate if you want to get any type of real traffic. Or you're going to have a super large store. But even if you look at some of the people with larger stores, their traffic is acting funny. Traffic is acting funny. Yeah, the economy might have something to do with it. There might be some other factors, but here's the thing though, why isn't it affecting Walmart and Amazon the same way? Why not? You know? Look, for today, right? Today, use this as an example. I had 26 orders on Walmart, right? 26 orders. I had 11 on Amazon to do. So what's that? 26, 30, 37 orders, right? Between those two. I had 2 orders on eBay. Now, mind you, I got more items listed on eBay than both Walmart and Amazon as far as like separate types of SKUs. But I got multi-quantities on all the platforms, right? And some of this stuff, I just stopped listing on eBay. I just don't even, because what I'm finding is, even if I have a multi-quantity, because my initial thought was I got multi-quantity, I'll cross-post it. And I'm still doing it with some stuff, but now I'm really considering not even wasting my time. Let's just say I got 10 of something, right? I got a bunch of these, okay? This is Kristen S. Rose Gold Temporary Tint, right? There's about 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. There's 30 of these, right? Now, my initial thought is, okay, since I got 30, I'll see what they sell them for on all 3 platforms, and if it makes sense, I'll cross-post them on all 3 platforms, right? And just kind of let them sell through even faster. What I'm finding is, with these types of products where I got multi-quantities, it's selling out on those platforms even before eBay. So then I'm wasting my time sitting there, taking a picture, making a listing, putting it up on eBay, only to have all 30 items sell out between Walmart and Amazon before I ever even sell one on eBay. And they're selling them for more anyway. So the price can be cheaper on eBay, and I still won't sell one before all 30 sell out on the other 2 platforms. And I'm doing like a minimum 2% on a promoted listing, right? So what's the point? What's the point? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still listing stuff on eBay. I got some stuff from them pallets and stuff that it just ain't making sense to sell on Amazon and Walmart because they sell them too cheap, and so I'm just gonna bundle them up and put them on eBay. But I just put them up there and let them sit, man, because I'm not paying more to like get it to move. But eBay, they making it hard for us, y'all. They making it hard for us, and they gonna keep doing it. And they gonna make it to where if you ain't buying in to the promoted listings, I was gonna say scandal, but if you ain't buying into the promoted listings, your traffic is gonna be real small, man. And so that's my theory on that, is that eBay is making it to where it's gonna be harder and harder to get traffic unless you buy in promoted listings and unless you get a higher rate than whatever that minimum is. They're going to want you closer to what that recommended amount is, I'm telling you. And so, you know, the question is, what do you do? What do you do? Do you capitulate? Do you give in? I mean, if eBay is your only platform you sell on, that's where you got your whole business set up, you know, you might just have to, man. You might just have to. They kind of got you hostage, right? Like, for instance, if you're a used clothing seller, what else you gonna do? Can't sell used clothes on Walmart. I don't think you can sell used clothes on Amazon either. I never tried, but I don't think so. So you're kind of stuck with it, right? So you're just gonna have to go ahead and do the promoted listings and pay. You're gonna have to pay. So now that's more that you gotta put in to your you gotta factor into your sell price, right? It's like, all right, well, damn. Let's just say I got something selling for $25. Let's say $20, right? All right, let's say it has to go priority. So now maybe I charge $8.95 for shipping. All right, you're charging for shipping, but eBay taxes you on that, right? There's a fee on that. Let's say you got to do 10% promoted. So now you got 10% coming out of that 20, right? It's $2. Then let's say you take a offer. So maybe now don't even sell for 20. Maybe it sell for 15. So if it sell for 15, 10% is $1.50. You gotta pay the $1.50, then you gotta pay that 10% on the shipping, right? Then you gotta pay the percentage, or you gotta pay this percentage for the category. So you gotta pay that percentage for the category. So that ain't even counting your promoted listing percentage. You gotta pay the promoted listing percentage, the percentage for the category. You gotta pay on the shipping. And then you gotta pay, you know, the fee just for them getting you to sell, final value fee, right? Yo, by the time you get done, you up to like 20-something%, man. 20-something%. And that ain't counting your store fees. Here's the thing. On Walmart, you're only paying a percentage for the sale. So if it's under $10, you're paying 10%, I think. And it goes by category. If it's over $10, like 15%, regardless. Ain't no promoter listing fee, ain't no store fees. You don't even gotta pay for a store right now. They don't have nothing like that. Even on Amazon, yeah, you pay the $40 a month, but you basically just paying that referral fee on FBM. I ain't talking about FBA. Yeah, there's FBA fees. But on FBM, which I do a lot more now than FBA, just to save on fees, yeah, and I still get a lot of sales. So it's still less. So I don't have to. Yeah, you got to deal with the price tanking on Amazon and stuff, but still, man, still, eBay's making it to where you have to pay into promoted listings at a higher rate, closer to the recommended amount, or you're not going to get much traffic at all. I'm telling you, you're going to have to play the game the way they want it to be played, and if you don't, then good luck. I mean, it's not a reason to stop selling on eBay. It's not a reason to not sell on eBay. What it is a reason to do is to figure out some other means of selling your products. It could be Whatnot. It could be, I don't know, man. You can start selling on Amazon. You can start selling on Walmart. Maybe Poshmark. I mean, some of those other sites really ain't worth it, right? For traffic wise, with Mercari, Poshmark, I just don't see. If you're selling clothes and shoes and stuff, Poshmark's an option, but they still don't get as much traffic as eBay, and their fees are what, 20% still anyway. So you kind of, by the time you get done paying eBay's promoter listing fees and all of that other stuff, you kind of at the same point anyway, and you still get more traffic. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It was just something I was thinking about, because I know how it's been going on Marketplace, because I have, and I still do put stuff up on there, and I know since they did all this, you gotta pay for the traffic thing, or you can pay for traffic. Things slowed down a lot. Hardly no traffic to the shop that I started that used to get traffic, and they want you to pay for it. It's gonna be the same with eBay. You're gonna have to pay for the traffic, man. People talk about how much more traffic they used to get back in the day, especially before promoted listings, and it makes sense. It makes sense. You used to get the traffic because eBay didn't have it set in their algorithm. They didn't have it set in their algorithm. Now they got it all set up to where the people who pay the most gonna get the most traffic, and not only is that the way it's gonna be, it's gonna get worse and worse for those who either don't want to use promoted listings or those who want to use the minimum amount. Now I know that Auction Professor said he don't use promoted listings at all, but he also got a crap ton of listings up too. So like I said, you're gonna have a huge store and be dominating a category to where it doesn't matter what a person searches, your products are going to come up. And let's be honest, the majority of sellers ain't at that level, and the majority of sellers won't be at that level. So unless you're willing to have a store that's big enough that puts you in that top, 1% of sellers in that category, you're gonna have a hard time unless you're selling Apple Watches or something. And how many people selling those? If you selling run-of-the-mill stuff, man, and you gotta pay to play. Period, point blank. You gotta pay to play. And that's just the name of the game these days, man. I think that's the way eBay, I think their focus now isn't as much on driving traffic. It's how can they get the most out of what they already have on the site. It ain't even necessarily about new customers no more for them, man. It really ain't. Because I feel like there's so much more they could be doing to get more people. There's a whole different type of crowd that they could be appealing to come to the site. In my one of my other videos, we looked at some of the demographics, right? That basically it's a young demographic, and it's mostly males. Maybe that's why they focus so much on the automotive stuff and things like that. But you would think with such large sellers in clothing and even electronics, man. You know, there's some large collectible sellers and stuff like that, but you don't really see them really promoting that stuff like that. Definitely not on TV or nothing. I can tell you something they never going to do. They're not going to promote the fact that they're not going to promote the second-hand aspect of eBay. I just don't think they'll ever do it. They're not going to be like, hey, come and get this used pair of shoes that looks brand new, or come and get this a pair of whatever pants or a polo shirt that looks brand new but at a discount. Why pay more? You can pay less here on eBay, you know, something like that. Why pay full price when you can get a great deal on a like new item or something like that? They're not going to do that. And does it make sense for them to do that? I don't know. I really don't know, right? I'm not their director of marketing or nothing like that. But if you selling those categories and if you selling that type of stuff, they ain't gonna promote you. So also one of the questions becomes, how can you compete with the people who are going to pay that extra rate, right? Who are going to pay the recommended or more, because some people actually pay above and over and above that amount. You're gonna have to make sure your listings are on point. I mean, period, point blank. Titles, photos, description, price. You're just gonna have to make sure that everything else. I think the days of just taking an item, taking a picture or a couple pictures of it, throwing it up on eBay and it's selling regardless, those days are over, man. Those days are over. You can do that, but you're gonna be sitting around for a long time waiting for something to sell. Like I said, unless it's an Apple Watch or something like that, something crazy that's in super high demand, you're gonna be waiting for a while, because you competing. Not only are you competing against sellers who got their shit together, okay, who got really good stores, really good descriptions, who take really good photos, who focus on the science of selling and not just throwing up anything. So here's what you up against, right? Here's what you up against. You're up against knowledgeable sellers who source mostly in-demand items, and I'll say mostly. Okay, so knowledgeable sellers that source mostly in-demand items. I mean, not every item that most sellers get is in-demand or will sell, but knowledgeable sellers, mostly in-demand items, big stores, right? Higher quantity of items, and they're paying the higher promoted listing rate. This is what you got to compete against. And so if you think that you're going to just take your item, take a couple pictures, any type of picture, throw up any type of description and stuff like that, and just slap it up there, yeah, it may sell eventually, but it's going to take a whole lot longer. It's going to take a whole lot longer than it would if you just put in the time. And so what it's going to take is, it's going to take attention to detail. You're going to have to start paying a lot more attention to not only what you source, but how you list it. You got to pay attention. You can't just go out there and buy anything. One thing that I heard Daily Refinement say that I agree with is they talk about front loading your research before you go out looking for stuff. And he said he took a lot of blowback for that from people. And I didn't understand. Well, I understood it because, you know, I mean, some people are just lazy minded. But I understood it from his perspective. Why? It's all about gaining an advantage, right? If I already did the research and I'm going out and I got a thrift, right? I'm going out to thrift and I already know what I'm looking for, what I can get for it. Boom, that's going to give me an advantage over the person that doesn't. You got to sit there, you got to look, you got to scan stuff, it's taking you a lot of time. I'm going in, I'm in and out, right? I'm in, I grab what I want, I see it, boom, got it, back home, process it, list it up. And by the time you do all that, I'm already out again looking for something else. I'm not wasting time with things that don't make money. I already know what I want. I know what it sell for. I know what I can get for it, and I got an idea of how fast it'll sell. So why would you not want to front load your research? Why not? Why would you not want to do a little research before you go out looking, if that's your business model? And so the fact of the matter is, people just don't want to put the work in. But the way that eBay is going, if you don't want to put that work in, especially on the front end, you're going to have a hard time getting sales on the back end, unless you want to pay more money for it. And here's the thing, if you're getting bad items that either don't sell that good or don't sell for much anyway, where you going to have the profit margin to even pay for that? You're going to be, your business won't be profitable. And so you got to remain competitive in this environment, which means paying attention to detail, which means making sure you not only source profitable items, but that you pay attention to how you putting up your listings. You can't just throw up something, not fill in the item specifics that need to be filled in, not provide the measurements. And you know, I used to sell clothes and stuff, so I know a little bit about that. Not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I know what it takes to sell some clothes. I just don't like selling clothes. I just don't like selling clothes at all. But I do agree with a lot of their advice, especially on that channel, as far as doing the research and things like that. So look, if you have all these sellers who are growing these stores to thousands and thousands of items, they're doing their research, right? Their titles are on point, their pictures are on point, descriptions are on point, the customer service is on point. If they're doing this, that means every time they add items to their store, they're gobbling up more of the market share in that category. And not only are they taking up more of that market share, but their items and things like that and their listings are in congruence with what eBay is looking for. Now you throw on top of that the fact that they're not even paying the minimum promoted amount, they're paying even more, right? 5, 10, whatever percent, 15. They're willing to pay that to get the sales, right? What are you going to do as a small seller? What are you going to do? That don't mean it's all doom and gloom for you, but man, if you ain't doing at least some of the same things, you're not going to survive. I'm telling you. And so you got to ask yourself, with the people who are, I ain't even going to say complaining, with the people who are voicing what's really going on as far as sales being slow and things like that, they do have a point. For them, sales are slow, but it's not for every seller. But why are the sales slow? And I'm not even going to go into what it may be that they're doing wrong. Yeah, there's probably some things that they could do better, but I think part of it is eBay is making it to where if you're not paying to play, you're not going to get the traffic, or you're not going to get as much traffic. And not only that, if you don't take the time and effort to make your listings exactly what eBay wants it to be, and just suck it up and put in the things that they want you to put in, you're not going to get as much traffic either. And again, doesn't mean you won't make some sales, you won't get some traffic, but it does mean you're going to, it's going to be minimal. If you put in minimal effort, you're going to get minimal results. It's just that simple. So let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think eBay is purposely reducing traffic to people's listings unless they pay more for promoted listings? That is my thesis. That eBay is purposely reducing traffic to listings unless you pay more for promoted listings. If you don't want to pay for their advertising, they're going to reduce your traffic, and it's on purpose. It's not an accident. They're purposely reducing it to make you buy in. And if you don't want to buy in, you're going to get the crumbs from the table. You're going to get the crumbs from the table. That's my theory. It's my thesis. Tell me what you think. And that's what my story, I'm sticking to it. Anyway, I got more videos coming y'all's way, man. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified next time I upload another one.